All right, welcome back to another WeatherXM update. We got Manos and Stratos here. Super excited to have you guys on board. We got some big news coming down the pipe. Manos, what's going on?
Hello, Happy New Year. So, yeah, the big
Happy
news
New
is
Year.
that on plan for Mainnet in mid-February.
Mainnet
But
mid-Feb. You heard it here. All right, cool. So, but there's got to be some details behind that. It's not like you
yeah,
just
yeah.
flick a
So let's
switch and
unpack.
things happen.
So last time we spoke, I think it was late November, right? And I elaborated on a number of obstacles that we were having, so we couldn't have the token launch taking place at that point in Q4. So we had a lot of complex things taking place at the same time. We were moving from Polygon to Arbitrum and Mainnet, a hybrid thing. We were creating the association, the legal wrapper for the DAO. Well, we had just released the quality of data mechanism that affects the rewards. So there was a lot of testing that we had to do there. And I'm sure there's a number of other things that I skipped.
Yep.
So for all these reasons, we wanted to delay the token launch. Since then, there's been tremendous progress. I mean, the team was working really hard all this time to overcome those obstacles. And so, yeah, I'm pleased to announce that we're going to be on Mainnet next month.
Cool. Now there's
And
a fun fact there. We've got another thing. Do you want to talk about the new WeatherXM website and where people can find it and see all this stuff?
so we in November we created the association, the WeatherXM Network Association, which is an organization based in Zug, Switzerland, and it has a new website, weatherxm.network. So you can read a lot of the high level stuff of the association there. Obviously, more content will be out there soon in relationship to the tasks that the association has to perform around the licensing of the network data, issuing the WXM token, rewarding the weather station owners, and managing the governance of the network.
So what we're seeing then is this nice split between WeatherXM, the original company, the company that's going to make and distribute the weather stations as one of ideally many manufacturers, and then the nonprofit, the DAO that's actually going to run the network. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, I mean, we always, as we've mentioned before, we started the project in a very centralized way. So one company was doing everything, but that was never the intention long term. And so we are accelerating the split between the DAO, which goes together with the association, and the company. And the token comes from the DAO, the management of the data, the reward mechanism, and all this the decentralized stuff, they will eventually move into the DAO, into the association. And that means there's going to be a lot of open sourcing of things as well. Uh,
Okay.
and
So
yeah,
it sounds like a small detail, but it's a really big deal.
yeah,
Is that it's the association that is going to produce the token. It's not you, Monos, or you, Stratos. It's like you guys don't have a little bag where you're dumping out tokens. It's actually a totally separate organization that's going to be running that whole thing. Super
correct,
cool. Okay.
correct. And those were the
Yeah.
legal complexities that we were talking about last time.
Okay, so fun fact here is that the TGE actually happened. The Token Genesis event actually happened in December. Let's walk through why that happened then, why it wasn't announced, and what's going to happen next.
So doing the token genesis event, like deploying the contract on mainnet, it's a small step necessary, obviously, for having the rewards on mainnet. We did that in December, and we've created the necessary pools. So we bridged the 55 million tokens to Arbitrum, so we can have the reward mechanism in operation. And all these things, they were planned in November when we were talking, but there were a lot of complexities involved and a lot of moving parts. So we didn't want to announce another deadline that we will fail to meet. So we decided to wait until everything's executed first, and then communicate the plan, which is what's
Cool.
happening today.
I like it. I mean, to me, I think it's a lot like when you see a house being built and you pour the foundation, when the foundation is poured, it's necessary because that's what you build the house on, but it's not a house. People don't walk by and say, oh, look, that's a cool house. They say, look, there's a bunch of concrete. So to me, this is a lot like you poured the foundation in December. You can't announce that we have a house because you don't have a house yet. You just have the foundation. But we will have this house starting in mid-February. So I think it's a cool way to look at it. And it's understandable to say, hey, pouring the foundation and building the house are two different things. Walking in the front door, two different things. So we got the date as no earlier than mid-February, 15 February. So don't kind of wake up on February 1st and think that's going to happen. No later than late February. Let's talk about the caveats, why it might not happen. There are two reasons that we've got. The technical mistake or huge opportunity. You want to talk about those, Manos?
Yeah, so I mean, there's always we're moving a little bit slow here because we want to make sure that everything is working perfectly.
Yep.
We have already developed the reward mechanism on Arbitrum and the new claim flow. So Stratos can give us a preview of this, and it will be released in people's phones probably next week. Still on testnet, but on Arbitrum. So we're moving away from Polygon. The rewards are going to be given on Arbitrum, and users will have to claim their rewards through the mobile app. And so this is in operation already. I mean, we have been internally testing it for quite some time now. That's why we're going to release it next week. And but yeah, I mean, there's always a chance of something going wrong. So there's a lot of things that still we want to validate and confirm before we go to mainnet. That's why we are taking an extra month, essentially code freezing everything and just doing stability tests and so on.
Love it. And I like the way you guys are doing that, where it's like, hey, this is what we're doing. This is what we expect. We're super realistic. If there's a giant opportunity that we get by delaying a week or two, we're going to take it. We're here for the community. We're here to build this thing and make it the best it can be. If there's a giant technical mistake, we're not going to hide it. We're going to fix it. Might take some more time. Right now, it's looking pretty good. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
Opportunity-wise, I mean, we're talking with centralized exchanges for listing our token. So we already have a few on board, but depending on what's going to happen, there might be, an opportunity that comes with a delay attached, let's say. So
yeah, I like it. I mean, you guys, it's a startup. It's this thing where people think it's like, it's like, Apple with, 10,000 employees or 100,000 employees. Like, nope, there's 30 folks there. You guys can be super nimble. It doesn't make any sense to not use your nimbleness if you have it. So I like that. I like that you guys are hustling, but also being careful. Stratos, let's do your demo, man. Walk us through what's going on with this new system.
Yeah, sure. So we have this new development version of our app. So essentially, we've been testing this since December. Everything code-wise is ready. We're just finalizing some internal tests, and we're gonna release it next week. We have a very specific roadmap for releasing small, small versions like every couple of weeks or so until we reach the launch day. So what we do here is you go to the new revamped profile screen, and you will be able to see the total amount of tokens you have earned from all your stations and the total amount you have already claimed into your wallet. And so the difference of these is the allocated rewards, the rewards that have been allocated for you, but you haven't claimed them into your wallet yet. And it's not that you need to claim them unless you're going to use them somehow. They are perfectly secure as they are. But in case you actually want to use the rewards for purchasing weather services that are going to be released soon, for example, then this is the way to do it. So first, you need to connect your wallet. We have tested extensively on MetaMask, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna work in other wallets too. And in the next step, you can see, again, you can verify the amount available for claiming. Let's add something lower here. And you go back and the transaction went through. And I claimed 50 WXM. And I can see here how the total claimed amount has changed and the allocated rewards amount has changed.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And just for clarity's sake, we're recording this in early January 2024. If anyone sees this today or the next day, they can do this on the testnet. Is that right?
Yeah.
But it's not actually up and running. Okay.
Yeah,
So you can play around with this. You can check it out.
And actually, you cannot do it on the app versions that are out on placed on the stores, but you will be able to do it soon.
Cool. Well, it's exciting to see the progress you guys are making. It's really cool to see the way that you guys are doing it. I'm pumped. The community's pumped to kind of see what happens next. And now that we got a date, or at least a month to hang our hats on, this is going to be an exciting next month, and especially 2024 in general. So, guys, thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate you making the time.
Thank you. It's going to be an exciting year. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.